Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone. And let's get into this episode 3 of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It ain't nothing but a gossip mill. This was a big episode of he said, she said, you said, they said. It was just, let's just get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And let me take a second to shout out my super thanksters. Thank you so much to Debbie Thompson, Tanya Fuller, and Etam Luo Sim 40. Child, I hope I said that right. Nonetheless, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into this review. So the episode opens up right where we left off last week, which is in the middle of Dr. Francis talking to Kimmy and Magic Mike Maurice about how much sex is excessive. Dr. Francis explains to Maurice that he has a higher sex drive, she has a higher level of responsibility, and maybe if you met her in the middle and treated her like a person and partner, it might improve your relationship, and a natural byproduct of the improved relationship is an improved sex life. And Maurice, with his patronizing self, but did he hit it on the head? Is that it? Is that it? That if I treated you more like a person and less like a sexual partner, I'd get more sex? Dr. Francis said, that ain't what I said. What I'm trying to tell you is if you treat the woman like a person, she might actually like you as a person and she might let you touch her. That's what I mean. Maurice kind of kissed Kimmy on the cheek and said, babe, I'm going to do better. And it was so sarcastic. It was damn near disrespectful. Dr. Francis caught the bullshit and said, all right, well, since we being petty, call me Richard Petty. He said, well, you do mean that with the deepest level of sincerity, right? He said, Kimmy, did you feel the sincerity in that? Kimmy said, well, every time we go to counseling, whether it be premarital or postmarital counseling, he always says the right things in the sessions. They never actually happen and nothing ever really changes. Dr. Francis tries to offer Maurice a different perspective and says to him to look at sex as more of a sharing of yourselves with one another rather than somebody giving something to the other. And Maurice says, I realize that it should be more of a bonding experience and less of just a means to an end. Say what now? If your wife is nothing more to you than a means to an end to get your rocks off, you need to go invest in some blow-up dolls and things. And Maurice is in the confessional talking about how sex is not just about the climax or going right to sleep afterward. It's also about the fact that you can do it over and over again. Maurice, please, okay? You ain't putting it down like that. First of all, his approach to sex, seeing his wife as a means to an end, tells me you have absolutely no concern for her experience when y'all have this experience, so you ain't putting it down like you think you putting it down, because you're not even connecting to her or concerned with her to see what she's getting out of it. You just trying to get yours off. So I know you ain't delivering like you think you delivering. Maurice clearly has some sort of an insecurity in regard to sex that he is overcompensating for. That's why there's this constant need to profess that he has the sexual prowess and that he always wants it and he's putting it down. And you can tell by Kimmy's lack of reaction that, baby, you not. It makes sense to me that Kimmy ain't all that interested, because who wants to be a trampoline for you to jump up and down on? Kimmy always looks like there's something that she wants to say to Maurice, but she just doesn't want to hurt his feelings. And I'm sorry. God bless her, because she got more patience than me. At this point, I'd have had to bash Mr.'s head open and think about heaven later, okay? Because you're not going to be harassing me about you going to give it to me 2 and 3 times a day, and you don't even worry about whether I'm getting what I want when I'm giving you what you want. Man, get out my face. Then this jackass asked Dr. Francis, well, Doc, can we maybe compartmentalize it where, sometimes it's about the bond, and then other times it's just exercise where we're just burning some calories. So I'm a treadmill now? I'm supposed to be a treadmill around this motherfucker? Dr. Francis said, you really put up with this shit? Dr. Francis fell out laughing, because this motherfucker here, this here, I need to go ahead and refer him up. He's above my pay grade. This bitch crazy. There's nothing wrong with him wanting sex from his wife. There's nothing wrong with him being attracted to his wife. But when you take your wife out of the equation to the degree that it don't matter what she wants or what she gets, as long as you get your rocks off, man, you gonna have to go to hell. So we move on, and the next morning we're finally wrapping up this retreat. Thank you, God. But not before Tiffany and Lewis. They done got up and left like they stole the silverware and sent Tisha, we hate to be toxic and run text about how we had a great time. We learned a lot. We've already started implementing a lot of what we learned, but we had to go. Tisha is all upset because they left without even saying bye. And Marceau must have been so damn disturbed by the fact that they just up and left that he just up and quit cooking the damn bacon. Because why in the hell is they in there picking up damn near raw pieces of bacon off the plate like they having breakfast when Dr. Francis and his wife walked in? I said, what in the stage scene hell? Why is these people eating this raw bacon on TV? But Dr. Francis' wife asked, well, we missing two people. Where are they? Tisha said, yeah, they couldn't take it anymore. Kimmy said, she's a damn lie. The lady had something she had already agreed to do and they had to leave. That's why they not here. Dr. Francis said, yeah, that's exactly what I diagnosed they as with, conflict of interest. Dr. Francis says in the confessional that the couples all did well with the retreat, but the one thing that he recommends that they all work on is trust, because they gonna say that they trust each other, but none of them were being completely honest. And Mrs. Dr. Francis wants Tisha to work on putting herself first. As they're leaving, she stops Tisha and says, you know, you remind me so much of my younger self. You're quiet, giving, you put your family first, you take care of others. But my advice to you is take care of yourself. That family that you put everything into, they're going to grow up and go away one day. And so you need to invest in you, take care of you, put you first so that you have something to hold on to when everybody else is gone. That is absolutely sage advice. Always cultivate you, because before you're a wife, a mom, or whatever title you're carrying, you are you. And after you are a wife, a mom, or whatever title you are carrying, you are you. Always take care of you. So we move on and we see that Kimmy is getting together with Destiny and Tisha to go shopping and talk about people. Well, Destiny starts off by poking at them about why she didn't get invited to the couples trip. And they said, well, cause you ain't a couple. And I might be. Girl, look. They said, look here, until Casper becomes a real boy, we not inviting you on no damn couples trips. So you ain't getting them couple trips hours on your next check, okay? Destiny says, well, y'all didn't even invite me for me to turn it down or tell y'all I got a man. Kimmy said, well, until you volunteer to us that you got a man, we gonna assume you ain't got one. This heifer said, well, I'll tell y'all when I'm ready. Well, girl, shut the hell up. Because why are you raising hell about not being invited to some shit when you want to keep your whole life a secret? First of all, we don't never know when you a couple and when you ain't. Whether you're married or whether you're not. We never know nothing about your relationship status. And you want us to care enough to be prying. We don't. Either you gonna volunteer it or we ain't gonna give a damn. That's just how that's gonna go. And furthermore, why would your sometime single, always in a secret relationship, be invited to be sitting up in these people's business so you can go running everybody's business back and forth? Why would you expect to be invited? Girl, please go to hell. Kimmy said, well, tell us. Since you raising hell about it, just go ahead and tell us. Do you have a man? Well, haven't I told y'all enough? This whole secret life of the divorced and famous is sickening. I'm tired of it. And Kimmy said, how do you get upset that we don't invite you to nothing and we don't know what's going on in your life? And then when we ask what's going on in your life, mum's the word. But the court told you not to talk about this too. And Kimmy says in the confessional, I don't know why Destiny is being so secretive, but at this point, I just accept and assume that this is Destiny because she's been secretive about everything. Her marriage, her divorce, her baby, her business, everything. So why are you here? Destiny finally admits in the confessional that yes, she has a new guy that she's been seeing and we'll meet him in due time. Girl, Destiny moves like she always has something to hide. Like, are you sneaking with somebody's man? Is this somebody you were dealing with all along? Like, what is the secret? She always moves like there's something sinister at hand, like there's something she just doesn't want us to know. Well, since Destiny ain't telling her business, they decide they're gonna go ahead and talk about Mel and Martell's, because the place that they're shopping at happens to sell clothes and wine. I guess girl, get dressed and drunk in the same place. Live your best life. Since they have this wine as a conversation stimulant, they decide to let's discuss Martell and all of the rumors therein. So Kimmy brings up that she went to lunch with Mel, and that Mel mentioned that there was something going on between Martell and Mel Nika. And Tisha and Destiny are both confused about why would she bring that up? Why is she telling you that? Even if it did happen, why is she telling you that now? Kimmy says, well, I think maybe it was more so that I brought it up because I volunteered to her that Mel Nika was in Atlanta with the guys because she planned this whole wine launch. And that prompted her to tell me how the girl was planning her wedding and dropped out the wedding after she blasted and exposed Martel about he was a cheater. And then they show the clip where Mel is saying to Kimmy that she thinks that there is something currently going on between Mel and Martel and that there's always been something going on between them. Kimmy said, but that girl is married. Mel said, what that mean? Child, you know that don't mean a damn thing to them. Married? Would married ever stop around there? Shit. Now, Kimmy is also low-key messy because why? Why are you randomly sharing this information with them? I mean, other than for Destiny to run this back to Martel, what was the point? Destiny said, you know, she knows both Martel and Mel Nika from high school, and she's never heard anything of that nature. She also doesn't put any stock in rumors that come from Mel, and even if it happened, why is she bringing it up now? In other words, if it did happen, I don't give a damn because it's Mel. That's pretty much what she means. Girl, I don't care. She let them know she don't give a since it's Mel. But Mel Nika is all right with me. Matter of fact, she's invited to my relaunch because she relaunching that damn Madonna again. This girl launched more than NASA. I don't understand. Kimmy said, oh, that's cute. So we getting back to inviting everybody to everything? Like, you gonna invite the other Mel? She said, Mel is invited, Mel Nika. Kimmy said, no, I mean Melody and Stormy. Destiny said, everyone who is supposed to be there will be there. So in other words, hell no. Now, why she continues to just beat around the bush, I don't know. Why you don't just tell these people, hell no, she ain't invited, and if you bring her, I'm gonna have a problem with you too, is beyond me. I don't have time for all the tap dancing and shit. I'm gonna tell you straight up, no. Y'all know I don't play with that damn girl. Don't even ask me nothing like that, and if you bring her to my party, it's gonna be a misunderstanding. So we move on and we see the guys getting together to shoot pool. Lewis is catching up with the guys since he ran off on the plug. And Martell is all excited to be meeting with the guys because he never gets invited to the couples events anymore. Yeah, that's what happens when you're no longer a couple. They'll invite you to the next throuple event since that's your preference. And is it me or is Lewis losing some weight and getting ready for that single life? I said, all right, Lewis, I see you. You know, Martell missed complaining about his marriage, so he asked him, how did the couple's retreat go? And Lewis basically told him he don't put stock in nothing Dr. Francis got to say because he don't know me. So I really don't give a damn. But we got closer with the Scotts. That was real nice. You need to get closer to your wife while you around here trying to discredit Dr. Francis and being all excited that Marceau will talk to your ass. You need to be worried about what that man trying to tell you. Martell said, well, what did y'all get out of the trip? You know, maybe I can learn something. Marceau tells him about the rope challenge and says that he and Tisha being in sync on the rope challenge really made him appreciate his marriage and made him realize that everything they've been through in the 15 years is worth it. And he said that Dr. Francis told him that in all of his years of being a counselor, he has never seen a couple perform as well as they have. So that tells him that though their relationship may be unorthodox to other people, it works for them. Lewis said him and Tiffany got closer, and then he said a whole bunch of nothing about looking at their relationship from a positive perspective instead of a negative perspective because it might be a different perspective. Man, if you don't get your perspective out my face. And Mari said he realizes that he needs to focus on his own damn relationship because he was surprised at how they failed to perform in the rope challenge. Yeah, you need more help than you realize. So Maurice asked Martell, should you asking us all these questions? Do you miss marriage counseling? Martell said, yeah, I actually kind of do. I miss being married, period. Martell said he's ready to get married again. And he don't mean in no 4, 5, 6 years. He's ready to have a woman by his side everywhere he goes. The guy said, Martell, what? Do you even think you ready for that? Don't you think it's a bit soon. The struggle is real. Do you understand me? Single life is whooping his ass. Martell is in the confessional saying how marriage is a beautiful thing and how much he misses it, and the next time he's married, he'll cherish it more. I think Martell misses the benefits of marriage. I think he misses having someone to serve his needs, pick up his slack, and complete his picture. When he talks about missing marriage, he primarily talks about it from a perspective of the benefits that he misses having. He never talks about it from a perspective of what he misses giving. So the question becomes, while you say you miss being married, do you miss giving what it takes to uphold your end? Because that's where you struggle, regardless of whether this woman was doing what she was supposed to do, or she wasn't meeting my needs, or she was telling me go find a girlfriend. She has to deal with herself in terms of whatever she did or did not do in that marriage. But you have to deal with yourself too, because rather than just get up and leave, you decided you were going to cheat and have an affair and have a girlfriend and a wife and everything else you wanted to do. So are you prepared to be a husband? Are you prepared for better or worse? Sickness and health, rich or poor, till death do you. Are you ready for that? And I'm not saying that Martell should never have anybody again and nobody should ever love him and he's unlovable. I'm not saying that. But I present to him the same question I would present to anyone. Are you healed enough from your issues to allow yourself to enter into a relationship? Before you even worry about the other person, worry about the shit that comes with you. Have you dealt with the shit that comes with you enough for you to be joining your shit with somebody else? So before Martell goes looking into getting married again, I think Martell needs to heal the part of him that drove him to seek satisfaction outside of his marriage. Because even if Mel failed in all the ways that he claims she did, you had a choice. And the choice that you made was, I'm going to stay and cheat. Rather than take an honest, transparent, and direct approach to the matter and say, I'm not happy, and I think the best thing for us to do is part ways, you decided to stay in the marriage, become deceptive, and do any destructive, hedonistic thing you wanted to do. So you need to examine the part of you that went left when you could have gone right. So we move on and we see Mel going to visit Martell at his home. She walks in and stands around just kind of looking like, I don't want to touch nothing. Martell offers her a seat. Please sit down somewhere. And she said, I wasn't just going to come in here and just sit down anywhere. I ain't never been here before. Girl, if you don't sit your ass down. So she sits down, thanks him for letting her come by, sends the children away, and immediately gets the shit started. So did you hear about Wanda speaking on our children? Martell said, no, what'd she say? Basically questioning the paternity of Sugar Mama. Martell said, no, Miss Wanda said that? Mel said, not Miss, but yeah, Wanda said that. So Mel says to Martell, I thought it was interesting because just a year or two ago, you just had to address her about talking about our kids. And of course, they show the clip of Martell running up in Miss Wanda's face. Mel says, we're adults and we can talk about each other and throw stuff at each other and that's fine. But our kids are defenseless. So Martell asks, well, what actually happened? So Mel starts telling him the story and she says, well, I was filming something, Carlos's after show, and I made a comment about Tisha's daddy being in her DMs. Martell busted out laughing and said, oh yeah, I heard about that. Now, I just want to take a second to say, when I did that Surviving Huntsville video, when they first was fighting all over the internet, and I told y'all that was how it started, and some of y'all was in the comments arguing with me about, that didn't start because she said that on that after show. Yes, it did. And even according to Mel, as she sits here and tells Martell while she's trying to recruit him into her toy soldier army, that it started because she made a comment on Carlos's after show about Miss Wanda's baby daddy being in her DMs. Now, in response to her making these unsolicited comments about Miss Wanda on Carlos's after show, Miss Wanda got on her live and dug in that ass. Mel says, I can take a lot of talking about me, But don't talk about my kid. Don't try to attach yourself to my kid's legacy. When they're Googled years from now for all the great things we know they're going to do, you shouldn't be coming up. Girl, male, you are going to have to catch an express bus to hell. You got to be out your damn mind to be talking about what anybody else does coming up when your children are Googled when they grow up. When y'all have a live version of War of the Roses going on the damn internet anytime you want to see it. And y'all wouldn't shut the hell up until a judge made y'all. And you worry about the next bitch calling you a hoe on the internet coming up when your children are Googled. After all you and Martell have done, and putting these kids in the camera and tell them what your mama did and tell them what your daddy did. And I ain't taking my kids to this and I ain't taking my kids to that. And him releasing recordings of the child talking and you worry about the next coming up when they child. Y'all drag each other and air dirty laundry worse than an episode of Jerry Springer. And you talking about the next somebody is going to be the problem when your children are Googled. Are you? And you worry about how somebody else is going to make your children's legacy look. At the rate y'all running, y'all kids don't want to be attached to their legacy. What are you talking about? You can tell Martell don't want no parts of this drama because Martell knows exactly what the hell is going on. She ain't really talking about the baby. She talking about you. She calling you old and saying that you was sleeping around and she kind of got that from me. So I really want to get in this. He said, have you talked to Miss Wanda? She said, no. He said, do you have Miss Wanda's number? She said, no. He said, okay, well, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. And I'm going to give it to you. I'm not calling her with that bullshit. Mel says, people think that they can come up against us because we're divided, but not when it comes to our children. No, baby, this ain't division. This is delusion. So Mel is all excited that she and Martell are on the same page and she has recruited him into her bullshit. And so she says, since I'm getting more respect and we're having better communication, I figured I'd let you know that I am planning a family vacation with the kids to Destin and I would invite you to enjoy. And Martell said he's really excited to be invited because this is something that they would always do as a family. They would always take their kids to Destin for family trips. And he likes that they're able to continue to have family traditions. Take your foot off the gas, boo. Not too fast. So now we move on and we go to Destiny's house where she is at home with her baby planning the relaunch of Madani. She's also FaceTiming her boo, having this awkward staged conversation. Just make it a scripted show at this damn point. She's apparently in another long distance relationship, just like she was with LeBerick. But she say they love each other and they have known each other for 13 years. And they're both divorced now. And when she got divorced, he told her he couldn't let her get away. So, where he been while you been married? Something about the way Destiny is very secretive about all this stuff. It just makes me wonder. Was there some overlap? Does this have anything to do with your divorce? Are these the answers that we've been looking for? Then we move on to see Martell is visiting the only Black-owned wine store in their area. And he is taking his iNest wine to them to do a tasting and see if they might possibly want to carry his wine. Well, the owner of the store tastes the wine. She loves the wine. I'm sure they say to Sutter home. Destiny comes out to support Martell in this effort to get his wine sold in this store. So Martell starts asking Destiny about everything that's going on with her and her relaunch. And is your boo coming? And she said, no, he has a funeral. And so Martell asks, well, how long have y'all been dating? Long enough. You know what? I don't have time for the city girl bullshit. Destiny says, well, while we're talking about the relaunch, you're invited. He said, well, is Mel invited as well? Why don't you worry about yourself? Y'all just now barely started back talking. Worry about your damn self. She said, I invited everyone who wants to be there. No, you invited everyone who you want to be there. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Just say that. You do know you can just tell the truth, Destiny. Martell said, well, about Mel, it does seem like everybody who was her friend, she just kind of kicked him off the bridge. Destiny said, well, I was a real friend to her. I was not playing her friend, and we have real issues because I was her real friend. And so my relaunch is not the place to address those issues. Well, Destiny, in the past, you had felt like launches were the place to address issues. So now Destiny gets around to spilling the tea that was spilled to her. She said, well, I got with Kimmy and Tisha, and Kimmy brought up to me that Mel brought up to her that Mel Nika was messing with you. Martell said, what? First of all, how did Mel Nika even come? Like, why did she come up? Do you know why? Destiny said, I don't know. I think it was random. I think she just randomly brought her up. Destiny, you be starting shit. This is exactly how Destiny starts shit. Because Kimmy told you very specifically how the girl came up. Kimmy told you we were having a conversation and I brought up that this chick was there. And that's how the conversation happened for her to tell me all this stuff. But the way that Destiny is delivering the story makes it sound like Mel is out. Just, he messed that girl, Mel Nika. That girl was supposed to be planning my wedding. She's making it sound like she's out there just starting shit. And that's not what happened. So why are you over there delivering this message to him this way? It's like you're trying to start shit. Martell was genuinely trying to figure out how did this come up. He said, did it come up because she's managing? Like, how did this conversation happen? And this I don't know, I guess. What in the half message hell? Destiny said, all I know is she said that she had forewarned Mel way back then because supposedly you were cheating at that time. Martell says, I do not recall. I do not recall. Y'all ain't gonna drag me back to hell that I'm just now barely climbing out of behind some cheating I probably done forgot. Shit, no, I don't recall. Martell said, matter of fact, you know what I do recall? I never looked at another woman back then. Destiny said, it's crazy that they bring it up now because they make it sound like there's something going on between you and Mel Nika now. Martell said, no, she is a happily married woman. And I know her husband. Ain't you said Mel was a happily married woman who was dealing with them mans, and them mans had girlfriends or fiancés or wives or something, and she ain't had to give a damn. Martell said he's not even interested in Mel Nika. That's like, there ain't nothing going on over there. Y'all ain't about to mess up his chances with Sheree and the Chateau with this bullshit. He is trying to become the next house husband of Atlanta, and he ain't got time. He is on his best behavior right now. Y'all can go to hell. Martell said, you know what? He and Mel are just getting back on the right foot, so he's surprised that she would be out there just spreading rumors and starting shit. See, Destiny, that's the seed you planted. And Martell said, I'm shocked that she would be making stuff up about me because I know I gave her enough material over the years. She ain't got to lie. Martell said he is not taking the bait, and I do not blame him because that's all this is, especially from Destiny. This is bait. She wanted him to get upset, and it's funny to me to watch her and Mel, and they all talk about how messy he is and how problematic he is, but then y'all go over there and try to recruit his messy, problematic ass onto your team to do whatever dirt you want done. So the episode comes to an end with Martell saying, I'm not about to be arguing and carrying on, running my blood pressure up for no damn reason. And you can see Destiny just side-eyeing him like her whole plan was to start shit and it ain't working. Destiny literally added insult to an injured relationship when she did that. And that is not necessary. And it's telling of who you are as a person. It's telling of why you're so quiet and why you try to hide. Because there's something you are hiding in your character. Why would you do that? But that's it. That's all. I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and letting me get this off my chest. As always, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.